one thing I will never regret is being right all the time, no matter what, okay? And I was absolutely correct about Doechii, and I was absolutely correct about Chappell Roan, okay? You know who else I was correct about? Severance. It's not a who, but I was in fact correct, okay? So I started listening to Chappell Roan. When did Rise and Fall of the Midwest Princess come out? I remember it was in September, and I don't remember. Was it 2024? 2023 was when it came out. So 2024 is when she blew up, and now it's 2025, and now she has a Grammy for Best New Artist, right? So I started listening to her. I can't remember why. Every now and then I get artists that pop up on, you know, the Spotify radio thing. There's a song I found recently called Baby's Breath by somebody whose name has a T and then an E and then a K and then I can't remember what else, but she's fantastic. And then Chappell Roan popped up, and I was like, Rise and Fall of the Midwest Princess. I'm from the Midwest. I know, Midwest reveal. That's not saying much because that could be anywhere. Honestly, you know, it's in the middle there. You know, if you say that you grew up a religion that is some variation of Christian, you grew up in the Midwest. Okay, yeah, all right. And I was so fascinated by her, and I was like, oh my god, Tusekah, right? So I listened to Rise and Fall of the Midwest Princess that month, and it was fantastic. If you have listened to Chappell Roan casually, I recommend checking out that album. I haven't listened to as much as her older stuff. It was very much a product of its time, in a good way and a bad way. You know, I think that that's a neutral thing, you know. I don't think that it's bad to be a product of your time all the time. It's only said in a bad way though, so I guess, right? But anyway, and so I didn't listen to it much, but I listened to Rise and Fall of the Midwest Princess. It's just a work of art. There's no other way to describe it. It's fantastic, okay? It speaks to the Midwest experience of, like, in California particularly, of wanting to move away from what you are, but what you are is so incredible, right? Also, have y'all seen my shirt? I engage in acts of industrial sabotage against an ancient cosmic abomination buried under Texas, and all I got was this lousy t-shirt. I bought this for myself. I also bought the Dredge desk mat for myself around the same time. And they're honestly some of the best purchases. I didn't know, growing up, I didn't know that you could, like, buy stuff about things that you liked that were cool, right? I always saw people with, like, the Batman shirts and the Superman shirts, and I'm sorry guys, I don't like Superman, or not Superman, I don't really like Batman, I don't really like Spider-Man, and that's because I saw him all the fucking time, and it was always the same design, and it's so recognizable, and that's good, that is so good, but I have worked in a nerd store. I see it everywhere, and it's never interesting, okay? It's been so overdone, and there are things I do like about both of them. I love Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man a lot. I do love the Spider-Man movies. I haven't seen Tobey Maguire's. I'm very sorry about that. He scared me as a kid. I just never watched it. I do love Across Spider-Verse, but I just get tired of seeing Spider-Man everywhere on, like, kids stuff. It's the same design, you know what I mean. And then Batman, I'm not a big fan of the Big Brooder, okay? I love Robert Pattinson's version. I think that it brought a new edge to it, the detective edge that I expected. But they're iconic, and I love the Lego Batman movie, so maybe I don't hate them. Anyway, what was I talking about? So, Chappell Roan. And the other thing is, she is from Springfield, Missouri, right? And I go to college in Springfield, one of the, there's like 5 or something in Springfield, and I saw the video for Hot to Go, and it had the big fork. If you're from Springfield, oh, you know about the big fork. You know about the big fork. What do y'all know about the big fork? There's a lot of references to Springfield. There's like 2 mini golf places. She went to one of them. Excuse me. So I was like hyping her up like crazy to my friends. I was like, oh my God, she's so good. You know, she's got so many music videos that I love. Casual's music video, it sealed the deal for me. Oh completely cemented, okay? Literally cement sealed it for me. It was incredible. And I just was so hyped about this queer artist from the Midwest that had such a good style, you know, such a unique style, right? I actually looked through my Snapchat memories and I saw one that was like 1 year ago or whatever, and it said, oh my god, she hit 1 million. It was a screenshot of Chappell Roan's artist page. She's got like 50, 60 million now. Like, that's crazy. I was just so hyped. I was like, oh my gosh, she got 1 million listeners. Whoa! So yeah, I told y'all about Chappell Roan. I told all my friends that are also from Springfield, and they're like, oh, she's from Springfield. She's right outside. She's in one of the little towns that are like, they're in Springfield, but they're not. I actually know someone who their sister went to the same high school as Chappell Roan's sister or something. I don't know. But, you know, it's in the Midwest. Everybody knows everybody, right? So, I hope I'm not doxing myself. That'd be terrifying. And so I hyped her up and everybody's like, oh, that's cool. You know, because when somebody recommends you an artist, like a musical artist, it's not life-changing. It's not something that you pay attention to that much. You listen to them and then you're like, okay, whatever, right? But I did get 2 of my friends hooked on it. Devin, one of them, my best friend, and another friend. They both listened to her. They were like, oh my god, love her. The other friend was because she was gay. She too was gay. And Devin just loved it. It's really funny. Me and Devin have such wildly different music tastes. Mine is like gay club music that you listen to when you're like crying in the club and you're wiping the tears away, but they don't matter. And Devin's is like gay middle-aged dad cowboy music, right? Or not gay, we're going for queer baiting vibe, right? So I need like Brokeback Mountain if it was music. And she really likes Brokeback Mountain, so one and the same, you know what I'm saying? But there is a small intersection of where our tastes cross over, and it is Chappell Roan, Rise and Fall of the Midwest Princess. She likes some of the older stuff. Sabrina Carpenter, specifically short and sweet, and filthy raunchy songs. And that's it. So I did get those 2 people. I did convert them. And yeah, I told y'all about Chappell Roan. Anyway, and then Doechii. Did I tell y'all about Doechii? I hope I did. Because I definitely did tell people in real life, all right? When did I listen to Doechii? I only listened to like one song, Yucky Blucky Fruitcake, which is one of my favorite songs from her. Top. I don't know when that came out. It's definitely like 4 years ago, 3 or whatever. But that's when I heard it, and I was like, oh my god, this is great. But I never really listened to her. I know there was a TikTok trend about that time where Doechii starts talking, and she's like, hi, my name's Doechii with 2 eyes. I feel anxious when I cry. Teachers say I talk too much. Mama say I'm talking enough. Or no, it starts with, Doechii, why don't you introduce yourself to the class? Okay? Then hi, and then, you know, whatever, right? I really like that one. I didn't listen to her that much. And then what set it back off? Let me think. Because Crazy, when she came out with Crazy, that was an incredible song. And I've seen some people hyping her up and being like, Doechii is like this great artist, you know, like she's undiscovered, or she kind of is discovered, but like she's underappreciated, right? And I was like, okay, not my thing at the time. I hadn't yet seen the light of female rap. I will say this, I don't know a lot about male rap, but I know a lot about female rap. I pay attention to it a lot. The commentary surrounding it's very, very interesting. And I just think that it gets a lot of hate because it's women shaking ass. And people think that being sexual devalues someone, particularly a woman. But in general, I would say that applies to anyone being sexual. But we love to sexualize people. And I think that that's very fucked up because it means that a lot of the time women are the ones sexualizing themselves because they feel as if they need to. And that ends up with women constantly being devalued in the eyes of other people, particularly men. And then, you know, it's a never-ending cycle, because it's connected in a lot of ways to how we see sexuality in the US in particular, but in general, it's not seen as something that you should express in public, if that makes sense, but everybody wants it. Everybody wants a piece of ass. And I don't think that's wrong. I don't think we should see it as something screwed up. And I think a lot of more people have purity complexes than we would like to admit. So I really like Doechii. But I think it was, I want to say six months. Definitely farther back than that, because I have a friend who choreographed a dance to Nissan Altima. And I went on a trip with that friend and a couple other friends, and I played Nissan Altima in the car, and that was sometime in the summer. So like a year ago, I guess. I really started getting into Doechii. Particularly the EP, was it? No. It was the song Swamp Bitches with her and Rico Nasty. Love. So many of those. And then she dropped Alligator Bites Never Heal, and I was like, insert that image of the penitent one with the headphones, and he's going, yes. You don't have to wait. Why am I seeing? That's none of the songs. I just forgot every single song from the EP. Hold on. No need to play the phone back in August, September. You should just fall back and wait. No need to clear the fog and all the smog in your mirrors. You should just sit back and wait. Those aren't the exact lyrics, but y'all get the vibe, right? Delete your call log and clear your agenda. That's it, I'm done. Because I can't remember the rest of the lyrics. I could make them up. I'm pretty okay at that. Anyway, I was blown away, and I particularly think that the intro song, and of course I can't remember the entire track list because I'm stupid. Can I name all the songs? This is a fun game to play with your friends. I do recommend this. Pull up an album that one of them really likes, and then ask them to name all the songs on there, and then if you want to do a challenge round, name them all in order. But you have to do that part first. If you want to do that, you have to do it first, because then you start remembering the tracks and then you order them. So there's a higher chance of success. But it's a really fun game, and you can like give each other points and stuff. 10 out of 10. I love it. It's really cool. Anyway, but the first track on Alligator Bites Never Heal, which is classified as an EP/mixtape. I've heard that mixtape is more of like what the artist says it is. So Doechii says the mixtape. I don't know why I called it an album and then an EP and a mixtape last when that's what she called it. But the record, as the music people say. But yeah, the mixtape blew me away. The intro song, she says like, let's start at the end. I'm dead, she's dead. I think she says, I'm dead, she's dead, another Black Lives Matter. And it was just really hard hitting. I'm not black, but it was just such a poignant beginning. And remember what I said before about how I'm like, y'all need to stop hating on female rappers for being sexual. Stand by that. Doechii does have sexual songs. I want to make that very clear. And she still does have those. But I believe it's because visually, I mean, the album cover isn't sexual. The songs and the beat themselves aren't all like party, like Nissan Altima, you know what I mean? They're not songs you play at the club. I don't think I'm young enough to say the club. I can say what I want. And I think that helped her get more respect than she had in the past, because she's got a song Booty Drop. She's dropping it, right? And it's a great song, again. So I think that helped it get more credibility, shall we say, in the mainstream, because she wasn't being a Lotto, she wasn't being a Megan Thee Stallion, maybe even Flo Milli. I feel like Flo Milli's kind of more on Doechii's end. I love Flo Milli. Like Co Milli, like Courtney Miller from Smosh. have I mentioned that I like Smosh? I like more the compilations, I have to say. Sometimes I don't like the humor as much. But yeah, Amanda Lehan Canto is my favorite. And Spencer Agnew, my favorites. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, I think that helped to get a lot more credibility. And a lot of people were saying Doechii's doing what none of the other girlies are doing. It's like, well, I don't think that's a bad thing. But yes, it does definitely help you stand out. I was blown away by it. Her lyricism, her humor, you know, a lot of little quips and stuff, like the shit up in ya, and I'm here to stay like the shit in your panties. And it's just like poetry. Beautiful. 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 Gorgeous. And that's what I have to say. Oh wait, that's not all I have to say, because I need to talk about the Grammys. So I was so glad that they won the Grammys that they did. I agree with most of the decisions the Grammys made in terms of pop and the genres that I know about. And I don't like that some people were saying Doechii wasn't the best album, or it's a mixtape. It wasn't the best big old record of the year. I heard that from a few people. And in my opinion, I don't always know what the qualifications are for the Grammys. I believe that Doechii deserved to win. I do think that Chappell Roan deserved Best New Artist, because it's just so hard this year, right? I think that they should give out multiple Grammys. Like, I'm so serious right now. I don't think there should be a first, second, third place. I think they should just give out multiple Grammys, okay? And it wouldn't devalue it, because sometimes there are multiple albums of the year. Brat, album of the year. I loved Cowboy Carter. Let me say that right off the bat. I do love country music. I do love Beyonce, okay? Maybe I was biased in that perspective, because a lot of people that listen to Beyonce don't strictly listen to country music as like a top genre they really appreciate and grew up with. And so I think that kind of made a lot of people be like, oh, it wasn't one of her better ones, but it was catered to my interests, okay? And the halftime show, I think that the Beyonce's halftime show was better than Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl show, and that's all I will have to say about that. I'm really sorry. But I don't think that it deserved Album of the Year. I think Brat deserved Album of the Year. Definitely deserved Country Album of the Year. I didn't hear about any of the other country albums except this one. Then again, I'm not big into country, so I will say that. But I think that the Grammy decisions this year were pretty good, you know? Chappell Roan has technically been in the industry for 10 years. But when you talk about their big break, you know, I think that this would count. And there have been the thing that I was saying, there have been so many impacts made this year. There's Sabrina Carpenter had to fucking wipe. Brat Summer. Are we listening to the words I'm saying, right? We have Chappell Roan, All the Music, Good Luck, Babe, okay? Hot to Go. Everybody knows the Hot to Go dance, okay? It's just insane to me that these impacts were not considered. And obviously, maybe, well, I don't know what the qualifications are for Grammy stuff. I guess there should be a social impact award is what I'm trying to say. But Brat, I think, should have been Album of the Year. It was everywhere. It was loved by critics and fans, and Charlie XCX deserves it. But Chappell Roan as well. The way that she talked, it was not just, this is a new, brand spanking new artist. Who knows what they're gonna do? She said what she was gonna do. She didn't just walk up there and be like, oh my God, I'm so thankful. She made a point to say, this is who I am. This is what I stand for. This is what I'm going to go for. And I admire that. And I admire that bravery so much. As another gay girl from the Midwest, it is just so inspiring to see somebody not cave to the pressure of other people they were probably telling her, you know, like, tamp it down a little bit, you know, it's a little bit much. And she said, no, I'm Chappell fucking Roan. I'm your favorite artist. I'm your dream girl's dream girl. And I'm gonna serve you exactly what you are, cunt. All right? Insert a very meaningful message about being queer and expressing that through art. As for Doechii, obviously, I'm not black. I did grow up a weird kid, weird girl, and a lot of people looked at me kind of weird because of my ethnicity and being Colombian. I looked down on myself kind of in a weird way because I didn't fit the stereotype, you know, and for her to make that moment about her childhood self, about who she wants other girls to look up to that are in her same situation, I admire that so much. And it's, both of these women are just the most talented, lyrically, just in terms of aesthetics, they know exactly who they are. They know exactly what persona, what aesthetics they want to present. It's the music they make, it's art, and it's incredible. And it doesn't just have to be that. It can be an artistic ass-shaking anthem. We need that. We need anthems about having a crush on a straight girl. We need that, okay? We need a crush, okay, so not a crush. We need to have songs about an artist updating the fans on their life behind the scenes in a musical format. I think we need that as well, okay? I have this clear memory of listening to Denial is a River, which was one of my favorites. I knew that that one was gonna get big, and now I'm unfortunately tired of it because now I hear it everywhere. Of walking to one of my classes, and the light was streaming through the window, and I was walking through the hallway, and I was just like, wow, this is incredible. This is the moment that encapsulates Alligator Bites Never Heal. It was early in the morning. It was in an arena, and the music was like from another class or something was echoing through the corridors, and just all made sense. And that melancholic feeling, that persistence, that drive that Doechii has was just like oozing through the sunlight. Yeah, I've been talking for 22 minutes. Come on. I'm not as much a yapper as that. That's crazy. I itched my legs so hard it kind of bled last night. So finally, Severance. I have been telling you bitches about Severance for years! Years! Okay? Severance came out 3 years ago. More or less. Also, real quick about Doechii, last thing. How have only 3 women won Grammys in the Rap Album of the Year category? You're telling me Nicki Minaj hasn't won Rap Album of the Year? Not Missy Elliott? Rap Album of the Year? Why are we even here? Why are you giving it to, I don't know, what are some rap snubs? Like, what do women have to do? Do they have to make a record where they're not sexual at all, and then you have another one where a dude talks about fucking bitches and getting money? Is that equal? Is that equal? It's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna talk about Severance now. I've been talking about Severance for a while now. I said it's one of the best TV shows I've seen in the last 5 years. It's incredible. It's very poignant. This is when the first season came out, by the way. I still haven't watched the last 2 episodes. Don't tell me anything. I'm going to watch them with my boyfriend. I miss him so much. I haven't seen him for a week. Anyway. Okay, so Severance. I missed my dead wife. But it was fantastic. It's so well made too. The script, the cinematography, particularly Devin, not my Devin, Mark's Devin in the TV show Severance. Their dynamic is so funny to me. Like, it's just so, it's so perfect. Like, it really, I'm an only child, but like, it's so interesting. And it's so like exactly how my friends act with their siblings. I just think it's perfect. But it really is very, what is it called? Relatable, applicable to how we perceive the work-life balance in this day and age, you know? And it really does feel like that sometimes. Like, oh, what you do at work is completely separate from the rest of your life. And that's been a change that has happened because in the past it was, well, your work is everything. And people are like, I don't want to do that. Logical. But then companies take that, they're like, okay, so let's go the other way instead, right? Obviously, that's not exactly what's happening right now with the back to office mandates and things. But I felt that move was very good. And by the way, directed by Ben Stiller. People act surprised by that. Ben Stiller directed The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, aka one of my top 10 movies. Like, Tropic Thunder? Who said Ben Stiller was a surprising choice? It is funny, though. I did see a meme that was like the most heart-wrenching commentary on humanity, whatever, and credits directed by Ben Stiller. It's funny. But every aspect of it is so perfect. The casting choices were perfect. Just the story itself, the way it's laid out, just incredible. I love it. Also, Mr. Milchick has a dumpy. Fatty. Why is nobody talking about this? It's so rotund. That man is built like... Why isn't nobody talking about it? It's crazy. It's outrageous. I love Old Man Yowie. I had to explain that term to some friends a couple months ago, and I was so humiliated when I found out not everybody is as... I'm not chronically online. I was. I just know a lot of things. As me. Yeah, sure. But yeah, the script in particular was fantastic, and the sets and the prop design and everything, those are things that I think deserve a lot of credit. Just because it takes a lot of skill to take a setting, make it a different one, but communicate the exact same vibes as the other. That is so hard to do. And it is impressive that the Severance prop set team managed to do that. I'm so happy. So, yes, Severance, I was telling people for years, so glad it got a second season. Talk about preventing a suicide, guys. Don't leave me hanging. I'm so funny. Anyway, I was telling people for years, and now people are like, oh my god, Severance is such a good show, like you should watch it. And if I was somebody that hadn't seen Severance, I'd hate those motherfuckers, because I still haven't seen Squid Games. Or I started watching it, and then Korean humor has never appealed to me. It's very much like, look at the funny thing, isn't this so embarrassing, is this guy so ugly and he's doing a funny thing? And I don't like that. I'm not a big fan. That's why I never liked K-dramas. There's always the ugly friend who's so funny because they're doing silly things and they're expressing so much, and it's like, I don't think that is funny very much. But that's me. Why do I know a lot of stuff? I had a pass as a K-pop stan. And I wasn't really a stan. I had albums. But not a lot of them. They had to be cool. And I kept being disappointed about how uncool they were. But anyway. Yeah, so I would have hated those motherfuckers. And I would not be watching Severance now if I hadn't seen it before. So I'm really glad that I did. And you should watch Severance. And you should listen to Doechii's Alligator Bites Never Heal. You should also listen to her past work. The Swamp Bitches EP is a favorite of mine. A lot of her singles are really good, okay? You've probably heard one of her songs, the What It Is, Ho. Wait. What it is, ho. What's up? Every good boy is in time. Oh, wait, no. If put it down and pick it up. Have you seen that animation or those hands on TikTok in the past? I saw them years ago. I quit TikTok. It was an addiction. It was not good for me. And then I was depressed afterwards. And my now boyfriend was like, hey, that's probably withdrawals. And I was like, I forget that you are smart. Wow, everything's blue. Have I mentioned that? Whenever I wear these, everything looks really blue when I take them off. And when I wear the blue ones, everything looks yellow when I take them off. So I don't like that. But I really like wearing them, and they go with the shirt. So, those are the things I told you guys about that you didn't listen to me about. And I'm really disappointed in you. And your father and I are going to take your phone away tonight. So, don't know what else to say. My name's been Sophia. This has been Yap Sesh. I went on a little trippy trip. It was really stressful. I saw a lot of fish. That was cool, but it wasn't worth the stress. Anyway, yeah. Sorry that I missed those 2 uploads. I hope this one will more than make up for it. It's half an hour. You'll be fine. I'll make a thumbnail for this one this time. I don't always make them. I probably should. Some person commented on my first ever video, which was like a non-player's guide to Dredge, as in like, this is everything you need to know about it without playing the actual game, because I like watching a bunch of videos about the lore and stuff, but I want the experience, right? Anyway, and was like, you should probably update these videos thumbnails because they're way better than the thumbnails say. And I was like, that's a good point. Rude. Not rude. I get it. But it was my first video ever, and I have an emotional attachment to those shitty thumbnails. So I guess I'll change this the first one and the second one, just to see. So, thank you so much for watching. Next time that I tell you bitches about something, listen to me, okay? I don't care if the artist has been in the industry for a while, and you're like, okay, well, they would have been famous by now. Listen to me. This is 3 in a row. One of my friends said, okay, give me a list of stuff that you're listening to right now, because I didn't listen to you, and now I should. And I was like, that's what I'm fucking saying. That's what I've been fucking saying. So you guys should play Blasphemous. And that's all I have to say. Bye.